Ever looked out at the vast, beautiful ocean and wondered what mysteries lie beneath the waves? We think of sharks, dolphins, and colorful fish, but what about snakes? Yes, sea snakes. And today, we're diving deep into their world. Stick around, because some of these slithery swimmers are among the most venomous creatures on Earth. So, how many types of sea snakes are there? Scientists have identified about 70 different species gliding through our oceans. It's fascinating because they all belong to the Elapidae family, which means they're related to some very famous land snakes like cobras and kraits. But sea snakes have carved out their own unique niche in the marine world. They're primarily split into two main groups, and the differences are quite cool. First, you have the true sea snakes, which make up the majority, with over 60 species. These guys are the real ocean dwellers. They are fully adapted to a life at sea. Their most noticeable feature? A paddle-like tail that acts like a rudder, helping them swim with incredible grace. True sea snakes are so committed to their aquatic lifestyle that they rarely, if ever, venture onto land. They eat, sleep, and even give birth to live young right there in the water. Then, you have the second group, the sea kraits. There are only about 5 to 8 species of these, and they live a sort of double life. They are semi-aquatic. While they hunt for food in the sea, they frequently come ashore. Why? To rest, digest their meals, and, importantly, to lay their eggs. Unlike true sea snakes, sea kraits still need the land for reproduction. Their bodies are also a bit more flexible, which helps them move around on solid ground. So, if you ever see a snake chilling on a beach in a tropical paradise, it's likely a sea krait. Now, where can you find these amazing creatures? You won't spot them in the chilly waters of the Atlantic or the Arctic. Sea snakes are lovers of warmth. They are found almost exclusively in the warm, coastal waters of the Indian and Pacific Oceans. The epicenters of sea snake diversity are Southeast Asia, the waters around Australia, and the nearby islands. Think of places like the Great Barrier Reef, the Philippines, and the Indonesian archipelago. That's prime sea snake territory. All right, let's get to the question that's probably on everyone's mind. Are they dangerous? The short answer is yes, almost all sea snakes are venomous. And we're not talking about a mild toxin. Many possess some of the most potent venoms in the entire animal kingdom. However, and this is a huge however, being venomous doesn't automatically mean they're a major threat to humans. Most sea snakes are incredibly shy and prefer to avoid us completely. But there are a few that have earned a reputation for being particularly dangerous, and it's important to know which ones they are. Let's start with the one responsible for the most recorded bites on humans, the beaked sea snake. Its scientific name is Enhydrina schistosa, and it's found throughout the Indian Ocean and Southeast Asia. Unfortunately for local fishermen, this snake often gets tangled in fishing nets, and that's when most bites occur. It's not that the snake is malicious, it's terrified and defending itself.
Its venom is a powerful neurotoxin that attacks the nervous system and muscles, making it extremely dangerous. Next up, we have a contender for one of the most venomous snakes in the world, period. Meet Dubois' sea snake, or Ipisaurus duboisi. This snake lives in the waters off the coast of Australia and Papua New Guinea. Based on lab tests of its venom, it is incredibly toxic. But here's the good news. This snake is not aggressive and rarely bites people. Encounters are infrequent, and even when they happen, the snake usually just wants to be left alone. So, while its venom is terrifyingly potent, it poses a very low risk to divers and swimmers. Another one to know, especially if you plan on visiting Australia's Great Barrier Reef, is the olive sea snake. This is one of the more common sea snakes you might encounter while diving. They can grow quite large and are known to be very curious. Sometimes they'll approach divers, wrapping around a leg or an arm, not to attack, but simply to investigate. It can be a scary experience, for sure. While their venom is potent and a bite can be dangerous, they typically only bite if they feel provoked or threatened. The key is to stay calm and let them move on. And finally, let's talk about the world traveler, the yellow-bellied sea snake. This species is incredible because it has the widest distribution of any snake on the planet. You can find it across the tropical waters of both the Indian and Pacific Oceans. It has a very distinct look, with a black back and a bright yellow underside. Its venom is highly toxic, but just like Dubois' sea snake, it very rarely bites humans.
It has a tiny mouth and is generally very placid, so fatalities from this snake are virtually unheard of. So, with all this talk of deadly venom, you might be thinking that swimming in the tropics is a terrifying idea. But let's put it all into perspective. The reality is that sea snake fatalities are extremely rare. Why? First, as we've mentioned, sea snakes are generally shy and non-aggressive. They don't hunt humans. They hunt fish and eels. They'd much rather swim away from you than confront you. Second, most bites happen under very specific circumstances, primarily when fishermen are hauling in nets and accidentally grab or step on a trapped snake. The snake is fighting for its life. It's a defensive reaction, not a predatory attack. And here's another crucial point. Even when a sea snake does bite in defense, it often doesn't inject a significant amount of venom. This is called a dry bite. They save their precious venom for hunting prey. A defensive bite is more of a warning shot. This is a huge factor in why so few bites end up being fatal. So, the next time you think about the creatures of the deep, give a little thought to the incredible sea snake. They are a perfect example of evolution's ingenuity, adapting a terrestrial body plan to conquer the vast marine world. They are beautiful, mysterious, and despite their powerful venom, a creature to be respected, not feared. Appreciate them from a distance, give them their space, and you can share the ocean with these amazing reptiles without any trouble. Thank you so much for joining me on this deep dive into the world of sea snakes. I hope you found it as fascinating as I do. If you enjoyed this video and learned something new, please give it a thumbs up, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell so you won't miss our next adventure. Stay curious.